Guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm so happy to have you. So my previous subscribers, welcome back to the channel. So for today's video in particular, we're going to be talking about and discussing the end of 45 and the beginning of the end for him. If you have not already watched my Mars 30 videos, specifically regarding Neptune and Aries and the partial total lunar eclipse, definitely recommend you go and check those videos out. If you want to be able to have a link to those videos, I will put them in the description below. In order for you to understand today's video and context, definitely go and watch those videos if you have not done so already. We also just finished posting a video yesterday, or as of today, I don't know when this video is getting uploaded, but we just recently got finished talking about the timeline shifting and the shifting back into our original timeline, which is a very good thing. That means that the timeline has in some capacity been restored. Knock on wood. So with that being said, we're going to talk about the end of 45 and the beginning of the end for him. It's not going to be our very last video talking about it, because it's going to be the beginning of the start of us talking about it. We talked about us getting to this point. We were officially here. I told you many times on my channel is that when I get indications by my guides that the end is near or the end is starting, that's when we start doing the videos. And I can tell you with certainty now, the end is near. So, with that being said, if you want to help out the channel grow, you can do so by liking, commenting, subscribing, hitting the bell icon, engaging with the content. It helps me, help you, help everybody on the channel. Also, if you want to be notified when I do post and upload, you can go into the comment section below or in the description and follow my Blue Sky account and my Facebook group so you could be notified when I do post and upload next. Alright, so this video is just for entertainment purposes only. Anything I do or see in this video is just for lights only. Alright, so let's go ahead. Let's see what's going on. I don't really know what we're going to be expecting, so just kind of go with the flow. Alright, so let's take a look. How do we do this, Spirit? Do we want to do that landscape, or? Okay. So do you want me to tell you guys about the landscape? Let's take a look at the landscape. Let's see what's going on for 45 and his ending for 45. Okay, Spirits and Angels, tell me about the end of 45. The beginning of the end. Show me the landscape. The beginning of the end for 45. They're all major arcana, I'm just telling you. Here's a timeline jump. This is the landscape, guys. The only way you're going to understand this video, you have to go watch my other videos. Remember what I always said on my channel? Every video is connected to one another. That's why it's called Celestial Tarot, because everything is connected to one another. Nothing is not connected. In order to understand a video, understand the context of something, everything flows into the next. These videos flow into the next. But also it flows into every video that I do in a specific order. Everything I do on the channel, because I'm time limited, it's in the same order and everything flows. That goes for every video on my channel, all 700. Alright, so let's take a look. And this is also for the new people who don't know that. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look. This is the landscape of the beginning of the end for 45. How do we read in that, Spirit? Okay, so they're telling me these are major things. The beginning and the end for 45. And these are small things. These are things that help aid the way leading towards the beginning of the end for 45. Let's go ahead, let's take a look. The first card that we get here is the Magician card reverse. The Magician card is the loss of power. The loss of ability to influence certain outcome, to get the desired effect or the desired manifestation that you are looking for. This is the Magician card reverse. That is the major thing that has halted him. It's his inability and unable to be able to do effectively what he wants. His power is over. Okay? This comes up in the previous video with the timeline shift. His power has ended. His ability to change and alter time has been over. It's been done. It's been exonerated. We have the Five of Cups reverse. The Five of Cups reverse is telling us here that there is a sense of loss. But there's a sense of loss in a way in which a lot of us don't understand it. There's going to be some sort of loss for humanity as a whole when he loses his power. We'll see what he did. So we're going to experience this loss pretty soon. But there is a loss here. Whether that is emotional, whether that is physical, whether that is mental, whether that's financial. Does not matter. There's a loss coming. It's also aided by the top card, which is represented here by the High Priestess. This is my Joe Biden card normally. But this is the law. This is the Constitution. This is the rule of humanity, the governance, the soul contract. And this is the soul contract. He did not follow it. He's not listening. That's why it's the beginning of the end. Now, if you have not watched my previous video, please go and check out the previous video. I do read my full channeling, but I'm just going to give you a little excerpt. This is the book called Journey to the Center of the Earth. Journey to the Center, The Revival of a Kinkling, Volume 3. Yes, I do not have Volume 1 or Volume 2, but they do not exist yet. But, essentially, let's take a look. So this was recorded on January 20th, 2025, so be not afraid. This is channeling. I read that in full in the other video. I'm not going to read it again. But, let's see here. It says here, Trump is not to cross a certain barrier or else he is done. And we mean D-O-N-E, done. He is on a strict order to follow his life path and soul purpose or else. He's a rebel in all of nature. This timeline, like many others, are seeing him cause major problems. Yours is not alone. Understand this, he is not immune. He's just lucky. But like I said, his luck had just ran out. With that, many of you would ask, why couldn't he have done it sooner? It's because he followed his soul purpose. However, he played with time and causing ripple effects everywhere. He was guilty with treason of time. We are the impossible. So, again, it tells you here that he did not follow his life purpose. He did not follow his life path, that soul contract, that agreement. But it's coming towards an end. His power has been diminished. Remember how I said that in that channeling? I said that he had 4 years. 4 years, he could have less than 4 years. But if he learned his lesson and actually stayed throughout the whole term, he will remain as president until 4 years. But it's apparent already that he is not listening, and therefore it's going to be less than 4 years. And with that being said, because it's less than 4 years, it's telling me that he's going to have some issues. He's going to have some major issues that's coming. I had a train of thought, but it just disappeared. I'll come back. Here we have the Sun card. It means reveal. Something gets revealed. Something's getting revealed here. There's a sunflower here, which is indicating something with Ukraine, Russia, all those. Something gets revealed in that region of the country. But I'm also seeing a red flag. There's a red flag. It almost feels like China or Russia. Something with deep red or orange hue. Maybe Ireland. There's something here that has to do with even orange or red hue, even a blood color, too. We have here is followed by the Empress. Well, this is normally my Russia card, but this is my Statue of Liberty. The Statue of Liberty comes in. The Statue of Liberty talks about justice, liberty, stability, superiority. It talks about equilibrium. The Empress here is telling us here is that his power is waning. His power is diminishing. And as it starts to diminish, the government starts to fail entirely. The government doesn't seem to be able to hold on. The government starts to fail, and here you have the strength. The strength of the government is collapsing. The government is not strong anymore. And that makes a lot of sense. The government should not be strong because they're removing a lot of people and a lot of institutions that makes the country function in a very specific way. If you were to get rid of the mechanic that makes the country grind and keep moving and progressing, and you halt those, or you take away the oil, it starts grinding and it comes to a screeching halt. This point here, as you get to this point here, we get to a screeching halt. This is coming soon. This is where we are now. This has already happened. How do we know this already happened? Because Statue of Liberty was already in the news cycle. We already talked about Statue of Liberty. We talked about Statue of Liberty many times. This is saying this is where we are now. We're waiting for the government to come to a screeching halt. We're almost there. It's not there yet. And then, underneath the Strength card, we have the Queen of Pentacles. The money, the care, the nurturing, the love, the aspiration. Here is followed by the Six of Wands reversed. The Six of Wands is a victory card. There's a loss here. There's a loss. The loss of something. Again, another loss. Whether that is something for all of us or that's a loss directly to 45 is yet to be determined. But it's the end of 45. It's telling us the story. It's explaining the landscape. And here we have the lovers, unity, people coming together. People coming together. And here you have the Six of Cups. The Six of Cups means going back to the way things were in the past. This is going back to the way things were in the past. What's the bottom of the deck? The bottom of the deck is someone's going to have to put up a fight and they're going to have to be a bully to get something done. This is the Five of Swords. You're pushing people away. This is the bully. Right? You push all these people away. But look, you can have all these swords, but you can't wield 5 swords. You don't only have 2 arms. You can wield maybe maximum 2 swords. You cannot wield 5. The top of the deck here is we have the Ace of Cups. Things are coming, it's struggle. A lot of it is coming, it's struggle. He's going to start struggling, right? His luck has ran out, right? We're going to start to see that now we're officially in Chinese snake year. We are officially in the energy, we're officially in the movement. We are energizing here. Also note as well, the beginning of the end starts March 30th, 2025 for Donald Trump. Because Neptune entered Aries, and that's when major changes happen within the United States and globally, but specifically in the United States. And that is also further enabled by Pluto's return in the United States. It's enabled by Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, Venus, and the Chinese New Year, the snake. And we also happen by happenstance. 2025 is a symbolism for the year number 9, which means the end or completion. A cycle has ended. The cycle is ending. So, this is the landscape for 45 for, how it's going to play out, the beginning of the end for him. Now we're going to talk about what can we expect. What can we expect is the whole other thing. Let's take a look. We're going to use my mega eclipse deck. There's no better time than to talk about the partial solar eclipse that occurring while simultaneously talking about and discussing the fall and the beginning of the end for Donald Trump. So Spirit Angel, tell me about the beginning of the end for 45. The beginning of the end for 45. We have 2 of Cups, the Virgo woman, and we have here Ace of Cups. Venus is officially in the United States birth chart. We have the 2 of Cups. The 2 of Cups is people celebrating. People coming together and celebrating something. Here you have Virgo. People in the city celebrating. I wonder if this is how people are going to start reacting, whether he physically dies or passes away or he is no longer in power. People are going to celebrate in the streets. They're going to celebrate. And here we have the Ace of Cups. There are hardships coming, but there is happy times as well. 45 going away is one of those happy times. And I hate to say it, but it's true. That's literally what comes in at the card. Happy times here. But one thing you don't realize in this card here is that these people are celebrating, but you don't see the storm that's coming in the background. It's a storm that's coming for the people in the rural areas. In these home countries. This is rural areas. These are Republican areas. These are democratic institutions. Look at the sun. The sun is shining. Or the sun is shining. This is the present. This is where we're going to be heading. And this is where we're going to be in together, all of us. It's going to be the Ace of Cups. We have Taurus. Taurus energy doesn't come until around June, late May. I always thought the end of Donald Trump would be May 25th, 2025. But, yeah, anything else? Spirit, you would like to add to this? Bottom of the deck here, we have the Seven of Swords here. People, women being locked up. And we have the top of the deck here, we have the Pisces card. Pisces. So there's energy here. There's Pisces coming in. Let's see what the Pisces is. If you guys want to be able to see like all this information, you could go into my community page or my post and you will be able to find all the extra information. You just go into the post. Here you go into post and let me just make that screen brighter. So you go into post and you just basically scroll down and you're going to look for this. What said 2 weeks ago. This is what you're going to look for. I'm going to read it to you. It says here, March 30th will mark the first time Neptune entered Aries. Last time this happened was April 11th, 1861, one day before the American Civil War began. When Neptune enters Aries, it said to signal a time of action and purpose. Historically, Neptune in Aries has been linked to revolutionary causes and religious wars. Without certainty, Neptune in Aries in 2025 will lead to a new cultural landscape and a call for action. Expect big action coming from the Vatican and the White House around this time. Democrats and or Republicans may feel compelled to take an action. Countries that are neutral will be no more. Each will be forced to take a side. The Pope may die around this time, or a new vote for a Pope may begin around this time period. A new agenda will be laid out for the world by a world's leader. We talked about Venus, so let's talk about Venus. March 1st to April 12th, 2025. Will mark when Venus entered retrograde and goes back from being in Aries back into Pisces. Okay? This time period under Venus retrograde is when you can see toxic outcome, the people fighting and making up. We saw this with Trump and Zelensky hours of the interview taking place in Venus retrograde. A re-emergence of an exiled topic or person is coming back from the past. This can relate to issues once talked about from the Mueller report or Putin. Any sort of connection will be temporary, of course. Spending can be massive this month, and this can mean that the congressional funding bill may be larger than ever or larger than normal. This is normally not a good idea financially long term. This time period could provide a clear glimpse on how weak the economy truly is. We talked about the economy being very weak. It may even crash. Lastly, old insecurities may arise during this time. Expect problems related to America's hidden past to reemerge and cause new issues. March 14th to April 16th, 2025 will mark when Mercury enters retrograde and goes from being in Aries back into Pisces. Another Pisces one. Okay? When we enter this, misinformation will be rampant during this time. AI may be a contributing factor to this. This also includes any possibility of any election taking place around this time period. We have one in Pennsylvania. We're going to have one on April 1st. Slowness and a lack of communication around health and disease is to be expected. I'm getting hints around animal health related to foodborne illnesses. Technology may go down in some parts of the country due to accidents occurring. Expect more crashes to occur during this time, whether it's physical or metaphorical. Traveling during this time period is not advised. The White House may see 45 give his first press address to the nation regarding accidents, but may receive false information regarding them because people who are around him are afraid to be honest and upfront with him. Elon may be centered here in some way. If any scientific travel takes place here, expect something horrific to go wrong. So that is the energy that I got. Okay? So, we know the landscape. We talked about the landscape. Let's take a look and see what it says in the card, the additional cards. Well, let's take a look. Well, this is the beginning of the end for 45. We have the oligarchy, not industries, right? The 8 of Cups reverse, walking away, the oligarchy. We have here the next card coming in, the King of Wands. Bernie Sanders, fight the oligarchy. We have here hope, occupy. Can you occupy the U.S.? No, you can't, because you don't own it. This is Wall Street. This means walking away from the economy, fighting the oligarchy. We have here Libra, the people fight for the people, where technology is trying to prevent the people from fighting. And here it falls underneath the oligarchy. You kind of see here, the messages are kind of together, right? We have here the stock market, right? Walking away, giving up the oligarchy, fight the oligarchy, and the people fighting for people. fighting for the people. And here you have, in the bottom of the card here, we have the Four of Wands. Interesting. The Four of Wands, oppression. The oppressor becomes oppressed. And the card that came out independently is Melania, the King of Coins. The King of Coins. Elon is also going to be on his way out. And here at the bottom deck against Seven of Wands, here there will be a fight, there will be a battle. But the Pisces is saying we are entering backwards. Here's the Three of Wands here, means the High Priestess rules. So, this is interesting stuff, of course. I'm sure a lot of you guys think it's interesting. I think it's interesting. There's going to be a lot more for us to talk about, but I feel like we kind of covered it. But let's take a look. We're going to activate the cards, and we're going to do astrology, and then I'm going to end today's video. I do want to record one more video before today's end, but I do have to go to work soon. Alright. Okay. Yeah, let's do this. So if you are new here, welcome to the channel. I'm so happy to have you. So the way this works is essentially anything that is colored means that is major. Anything that's white means that is minor. Okay? That's how that works. So Spirit Angels, shuffle the cards, please, for the energies and the frequencies revolving around and anything that is related to the idea and facts that 45 beginning of the end. Tell us about 45 beginning of the end for us. Tell us about the beginning of the end. Tell us the story. Tell us the story. Shuffle. We have the Angels reverse. Now, I've never done this before, but I'm being told by my guides that it's time to just read it as is. You have the Angels reverse. We have here manipulation. Manipulation. We have here life through death. We talked about how he was able to do time through death. He was able to die and be able to transport himself to another timeline. We have here the shooting star. If you all know the shooting star is dead. It's a dead star, right? It's not alive. We have here harmony. Disharmony. Disharmony. We have old. Old. We have here divorce. We have software. We have here camp out. What happens if you don't camp out? You're exposed, you're vulnerable, right? You're vulnerable to the elements. And we have here what's coming, the tower. Let's take a look. That's why the angels and the towers reversed, because it has not yet happened. The angels, the spiritual world, is going to create the tower. They're going to trigger the tower. What is going to bring down the end of Donald Trump? Let's take a look. The manipulation through life and death. The shooting star, the promise that he was the God of our time, caused disharmony. Because of this, he is old. And because of this, because of his old time period, his age, his divorce through life and death was mean, a divorce of life and death was mean when there's a separation of life and death, and the body separates from the physical, there's a death that's coming. A death, a physical one. And underneath that, the shooting star prophecy, which is I am God, which is the software program, which means I am victorious in the election, which is the shooting star prophecy in reverse. And underneath the harmony, disharmony, is vulnerability. Because of disharmony and what they call the chaos that's ensued under his reign, there's a vulnerability to his reign. And because of this, it creates a tower moment that's about to occur with the angels and the spiritual realm actually involved. We're going to do tower takeover. Spiritual angels, tell me about Donald Trump tower card with the beginning of the end for him. We have the Three of Wands here. This is my election card. This is overlooking the election. This is disharmony, vulnerability, the vulnerability in the election. There's something going on with the software, like I told you guys how it works. There's something going on with the software program that is being exposed. There's some sort of vulnerability with the coding mechanism. What else? We have here the Nine of Cups. Your achievements are being thrown out the window. Your big picture is thrown out the window. The image that you had is thrown out the window. This is also the election. This is talking about the election. Because we have here the Ten of Cups. It's also an election card. The Ten of Cups. And we have here the Nine of Cups, right? The big picture of the election. Last card. The Nine of Swords. Restfulness. Not feeling well, feeling sick, feeling gross, feeling disgusted. I'm getting a coughing card here. My stomach is twisting right now. I'm getting this urge to throw up. That's what it feels like. It feels like, I don't know. It feels like I'm gonna throw up. That's what the energy feels like. It feels like you're gonna barf. Spirits and angels tell me the beginning of the end for Donald Trump does this constitute a coughing card. We have here the message in reverse. So the message had not been sent to him yet regarding physical or metaphysical death. We have despair. So we have despair coming up. Underneath here we have concern. He's not concerned about the house. Not concerned about the house and the courtship, his relationship with his wife is coming toward the end. His relationship with his wife is coming toward the end. We knew that because it comes in through her immigration reading. But I don't see anything with the coffin. Nothing with the coffin. So it's not a physical death. It's another form of death. It's a change in fate is what he's experiencing. He has a different change in fate. So yeah, no, this is not a physical death. But his life through death is a divorce, which means that there is a divorce, a marriage coming. He's going to be divorcing Melania in some way. There's a separation. Whether it's physical separation or it's just a separation of them not being together, there's a separation coming. And it's going to cause a trauma. It's going to make him go very irate and not think clearly. So that is also going to be the beginning of the end. The separation between him and Melania is going to do enough damage that he's not thinking clearly, and that will be just enough people to kick him off. So, let's use our astrology deck that will end today's video. Spirits and angels, tell me about the beginning of the end for Donald Trump. There's a solar eclipse that's coming. Which we know is coming because it has not happened. It's coming tomorrow, which is why it's here. It's in the center. A big change is coming to him, that's for sure. The beginning of the end for Donald Trump. The beginning of the end for President Donald Trump. Tell us more about it. Anything else? Anything else for the beginning of the end for Donald Trump? The beginning of the end for Donald Trump. Beginning of the end for Donald Trump. Or beginning of the end. Okay, there's too many. Leave that there. This falls right on the tower, so we'll leave it. We're going to shuffle for accurate information on the top and bottom card. Okay, that's it. Beginning of the end for Donald Trump, beginning of the end for Donald Trump. Okay, so the first card that comes in between the shooting star prophecy and the Starfield program, the life between the death and life and everything in between, and the divorce, we have the solar eclipse. The solar eclipse is something that's coming in the future because it's in this way. So this is the future card. This is what's coming in the future. The solar eclipse. It makes sense. This part of the solar eclipse is tomorrow. It is creation, intention, and potential. There's a change or potential that's coming right here. The divorce. Maybe this might mean that information might come out. Not saying it is, but information regarding something with his life is going to come out. And here we have Virgo, which is directly on top of the Nine of Swords and the message reverse. He did not get the message about life through death and divorce. Because of this, he enters Virgo, which is analytical, functional, and efficient. His mind, his mental space. Here was heading downwards from this time period, as like before, what's ending today for him. It would be a completion, tension, and disharmony. We talked about disharmony, right? Very interesting that comes in this reading here, right? The square card. completion, tension, and disharmony, the square in reverse. What's also card was also already past, what already ended. We have here near origin and inner child. The immunity Koli. This is original inner child. He disregarded who he was as a child. And because of that, that did some damage. What's the top of the deck here? The top of the deck, we got two cards actually. We have here a Cancer. Cancer is the card that represents the United States because the United States is a Cancer. We have here nurturing, sensitive, and caring. Gaia, and Gaia's ending. We have here Earth, nature, and embodiment. Nurturing of his own health, his own embody, his body is physically his nurturing. I think it's how they're going to start to deteriorate starting March 30th. That's the beginning of the end for him. And that's possibly why. But at that point, why would Melania even divorce him? Maybe it's not a divorce. Maybe it's a physical divorce of the body. On the bottom deck here, we have Cardinal, which means initiation, spark, vision. It's reversed. It has not yet happened. But something's going down, and it has to do with him directly. So I don't know if Melania is going to divorce him, because if she feels and knows that he's going down in terms of health, why divorce him? Just wait it out enough to get the money. You married him for no reason. You might as well just stay in. You're already committed. Underneath the Tower card reverse here, what is coming with the Tower card? We have Ceres, which means self-care, wellness, and agriculture. Yeah, his wellness is going down. His health is going down. That's what we're entering into April. April, his health is going to crash. His health is going to be terrible. So we're going to start to see that. That's the beginning of the end for Donald Trump. The beginning of the end for Donald Trump is his health. Information regarding the election, I don't think it's going to come out big. I don't see anything big coming out. But it's going to be the software program that they initiated is going to start to fail. So we're going to start to see that. And yeah, that's about it. The Tower card is not yet here yet, so just keep that in mind. But again, this is the beginning of the end for Donald Trump. You guys let me know in the comment section below if you agree or disagree. And I'm really curious to see what you guys think. I just know I love you and I appreciate you. Thank you for joining the channel and watching this video. I'll see you all next time. Until then, peace out. I love you.